Alright, welcome back to the channel. I got a game from November 21st. So this is one of my first, probably third or fourth game in the newly buffed Shima. HE does a little bit more damage now, I think 2150. And I think that's up from 1800. And a 9%. I believe it's 9% fire chance now, so a little bit better fire chance. Other than that, same old Shimakaze, the boat I love. What I don't love is the player community lately. I really don't know what's going on. I'm going to try not to rant and rave too much, but you're going to see a great example of complete chaos. It ensues shortly after this game starts. You can see the Haragumo is going to C. I am going to go over to A. The red team has 2 or 3 radar ships. Or actually ships that have radar. And they also have a Minotaur, which turns out to have radar. Obviously, I didn't know that in the beginning of the game. And I generally don't suspect minnows of having radar unless they're in a division. I don't believe this guy was in a division. I'll double check as the game goes on, as the replay goes on. But as you can see here, we have a Seattle who I've asked a couple times for help, basically ignoring all my requests and sailing off into the sunset over here. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. Not only that, he's just like blindly sailing around. I don't know what this guy is doing. But as of recently, I would say the last couple of weeks, these are the type of players that you seem to encounter all of the time. Now, he has actually, it does appear he's going to go to the island, or what is more than likely is he's going to YOLO in and get blapped, because that seems to be the new norm now. I'm not sure if he's spotted, but he is showing a lot of broadside turning out, and yeah, typical cruiser play, I guess. Not how I would play that boat, but and the other thing is it's a radar ship, so if you're not within 9 kilometers of the cap, you can't leverage your radar at all. So yeah, sorry about that. I'm getting tangled up in my headset cord. All right, so I'm kind of looking around for some targets. I am preemptively torping radiolocation. I'm really looking for a target. I'm hoping you're going to notice I call this Seattle out. It looked like our, what was that? A Montana is already getting torped because he's not really paying attention and pushing in far. You can see that the Seattle left the A cap and is now heading over to the B cap. Our team is taking C, but for some strange reason, they are leaving C. So, yeah, that's basically, finally, somebody's got a piece of that Seattle, who I've called out probably a half dozen times. No shots on the DD that I spotted, although he was only spotted for a brief moment there. Yeah. And boom, just like that, our Tirpitz goes down to a Minotaur torp. That's so ridiculous. Like, I don't really get that, but whatever. So we had a full health Tirpitz just vaporized. Great. I managed to pick off the Seattle with a torp. I only did 5k damage to him, but that was enough to take him out. Ironically, Our Montana, a Moskva, and a Bismarck and a Kurfürst could not actually finish that guy off for whatever reason. Again, this type of gameplay is the new norm, I think. And there goes our Moskva, completely blapped by the Kurfürst. So we lost a battleship and a cruiser. They lost to Seattle, a light cruiser. Not a good start. Calling out the Minotaur, and yeah, more of the same. I don't know. I don't even know what to say anymore. If I'm not mistaken, and I could be, this Montana is actually been shooting HE, if I'm not mistaken. I don't recall. Nope, he's shooting AP there. Get a torpid on that Kurfürst, or I'm sorry, was that Kurfürst? Yeah, it was. So that's good. Unfortunately, we don't really have any HE spammers over here too, and there goes our Montana sailing broadside to 3 battleships. So big shock there. He goes down to the Yamato. I smoke up, and I don't know what to do. I'm gonna try to get a fire on this Kurfürst, because I don't know. I can't count on anybody on my team to do anything at this point. You can tell I'm frustrated, and it's been like this for the last couple days, couple weeks, whatever. It's horrible gameplay. Just again, Montana sailing broadside to 3 battleships. That's the new norm, I guess. Seattle not supporting a DD, going to another cap. You'll notice now too that all the ships that were at C are now at B, but they gave up C. I'm not really sure I understand the logic behind that. Either way, I'm going to try to keep this guy on fire. I was lucky enough to land a fire on him and get him burning, and the Bismarck finishes him off, thank God. But here, you'll notice this Minotaur is still sailing around in the open, been spotted for... I mean, he's openly firing. This is probably about the time that I suspected he might be a radar minnow. I haven't seen him smoke up, and like I said, he is literally just cruising around, openly firing, which is not typical of Minotaur behavior, unless you're a radar minnow. And even then, I would say it's not normal behavior. I mean, he should be... obviously he's on the flank that they're pushing, so he can't sit behind an island and do nothing. But you'll notice he's turning back, and we got some HE going in on him. We got some AP going in on him. It does look like our battleships are actually shooting AP. And here comes our Hiragumo. He took C, went to B, and I guess the goal is just to go around and cap and give up the caps, because that's absolutely ridiculous. And here's the radar, which surely belongs to the Minotaur. So I'm going to turn out, and I got my Des Moines hiding behind an island. And that guy is actually interesting, because that's another thing. He's actually one of the only decent players on this team compared to the enemy team. And that's how he's playing. He's hiding behind that island, probably 10 kilometers behind me, where he can't leverage his radar and can't do anything. And that's the actual best player on my team. Yeah. He manages, the Kurfürst manages to finally finish off that Minotaur. So now I'm calling out the Moskva, because more radar. Yeah. So somebody gets a good chunk of him, thank God. And I am at this point going to move up to the cap. We're down a couple ships, and we're down 2 caps to 1. And you can see the Des Moines is still sitting up, 8 kilometers behind me, behind an island. And he's asking for smoke. I'm not giving him smoke. if he was up here and he was helping us, and I would definitely, smoke him up if he needed or if he was getting focused. But I'm not gonna give up my smoke for a dude that's been hiding in the back for 10 minutes and now wants to move forward only with the assistance of smoke. So, got a curve first turning out here. I'm not sure if he's gonna continue his turn and actually backtrack, or if he's gonna continue along this and run parallel to me. But either way, I put a pretty tightly grouped spread. The first two are ahead of the production line, and the second one was a little bit behind, or the third one was a little bit behind the production line. But like I said, he was turning out, and this is pretty sweet when it comes to Shima strikes. That's 4 torpedoes of 5, followed by 3 from the second set. And just like that, full health, curve first, gone. And that was a good strike. It was good for about 97k, if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere around there, right around 100k. Bismarck gives me compliments. I don't know. I did get a compliment at the end of the game. I'm not sure who it came from. I wish they would actually tell you who gave you the compliment. It would be kind of cool to know. But either way, so I'm going to push into a... we're still down, I think, a ship. And we still have a radar Moskva sailing around. Not even a shot being fired at him. And we have one battleship kiting out. For what reason, I don't know. And then we have the Bismarck, who appears to be pushing in. The Des Moines is still pretty far back, although he's pretty close to the Tirpitz now. Tirpitz takes out our Conqueror with torps, I believe. I get radared, which was more or less inevitable. I did smoke up immediately. And the reason I did that is because the Moskva is clearly focused on the Haragumo, and the Moskva also has very short duration radar. Of all the ships, and not to mention a slow reload, so of all the ships that possess radar that can pose a threat, I really consider the Moskva not to be that big of a threat. Again, short duration, and he's only going to get a couple salvos. As long as I'm kiting out and facing away, probably going to do okay. Haragumo lands a torpedo on the Moskva, and basically we've now secured the A cap. Of course, now the B cap is being taken by the red team, and somehow we've managed to pull this somewhat back. We do have a one-ship advantage now, which isn't bad, all things considered. I mean, we were, 2 or more ships behind earlier, so, yeah, that's not too bad. The Des Moines has finally gotten into a position where he's a little bit more engaged in the battle and can leverage some of his stuff. Looks like he took a torp hit from the Z-52, but he did manage to finish the Z-52. Now I got radio location, and I got a Yamato on the other side of this island, but radio location is telling me there's something else over here. And the red team does have a Haragumo, which is not who I want to run in. Yeah, there's clearly somebody over here. You can see radio location is pointing in a completely different direction. And, of course, I run into a full health Haragumo. Everybody hates this ship. So I put one set of torpedoes on the prediction line, and then one a little bit back from that. And then I turn out, and as you can see, the Haragumo's rate of fire is ridiculous. And, however, I managed to land a torp and fire a salvo and take him out. And just like that, full health Haragumo. Bye-bye. Sit down. There's nothing more satisfying in the Shimakaze than torping either a Haragumo or a Kaba, especially when they're actively engaged in kicking your butt. So at this point, we've kind of turned this team around. Despite my team's best efforts to kind of throw this game almost. You can see our curve first is still way, way, way up on the C line. I'm really not sure who or what he was doing up there. There's this Alabama. I had a hard time gauging whether he was AFK or disconnected or, I didn't notice it during the replay. I see shots coming in on him, but I don't know if he actually shoots back. Hope this guy didn't quit because he thought they had this in the bag. Yeah, I don't see him shooting. I haven't seen any salvos go out. So I'm going to smoke up and just, probably didn't have to waste my smoke, but just as a precaution. And I think I fired that leading him, and you notice it barely landed on him, so I don't think he's actually moving. Nah, doesn't look like he's moving at all, so I'm going to put a set of torps out. Based on how quickly his health has been going, I do not expect those torps to actually hit him, but you never know. And just like that, he takes another salvo from the Des Moines, and he's finished off. So at this point, the Des Moines got 4 kills. I think he pretty much picked off a bunch of low health ships. I'm sure he did some damage, because he does finish top of the leaderboard. But, man, it's frustrating when people play like that. It's like he sat in the back and hid the whole game and then came out just to get some kills and some damage. So, end of the game, 179,000 damage, 10 torpedo hits. 7 of them were on the curve first. And, of course, and a devastating strike on the curve first. 3 kills, 2 solo caps. So not a bad game, not by any means. Again, just kind of struggling with teams. Our Des Moines finished first. I finished second. He beat me out by about 60 points. Kind of a little annoying considering how hard I played, and he just seemed to sit behind that island for most of the game before coming out and finishing off some ships. But it is what it is. It did 110,000 in spotting damage, and a little bit of flooding and fires. Only 12k in fires and flood. But other than that, pretty good game. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.